So with El Rona sweeping through the nation, man, we've lost sight of the fact that there's still primaries going on right now, and I wanted to speak on that for a second. Even though I understand we have a much more important situation going on, but I'm gonna leave that to the other people for right now. I want to discuss on what we as the progressive left can do going forward, not only to help our movement, but to move it more so in the right direction than we're doing right now. And like I said, we got more primaries coming up, man. Bernie's not quite, he's not done yet. It's not over yet. He still has a chance to come back. Will he? Maybe, maybe not. Either way, I want to discuss it, man. So let's get into it.
That's right. I'm the black sheep, the real black sheep. I'm the black sheep, the real black sheep.
Welcome to the Black Sheep Theory. Shout out to the homies on the block. Free the homies on lock. Free Julian Assange, free Palestine, and free ass whoopings in case you looking for them, right? So I guess jumping right into it, man, I want to discuss what we need to do going forward on the left. And I have a few points to make on this, man, and hopefully y'all can ride with me for a little while I do this, man. So going forward, one, we need to focus more on legacies, right? And what I mean by that is legacy media, legacy officials, and that just means people who have been in these positions forever, or companies who have been in these positions forever. So what I mean by legacy media is, of course, your CNNs, MSNBCs, Fox Newses, CNBCs, all these media companies that have been around since before I was born, right? Or even around the time I was born, right? They are the enemy of the people, and that may sound bad. It may sound like, oh, you don't want to, but it's time out for the BS. We have seen all they have done to stifle and stop this movement. And to be honest with you, man, I think it's wild that anybody's even taking them serious anymore at all, man. I think we need to definitely call them out more so now than ever, and especially going forward. We need to call them out, just nonstop. They are practicing some. They are definitely biased against us. They're not our allies, man. Not one legacy media is for us, period. So we need to do better on that. Speaking of legacy officials, there are officials that have been in office for years, 10 years, you know what I'm saying? Like there's, for example, state representatives, I think they have 2-year terms. Some guys have been in office 8 years, 6 years, and their terms are only 2 years long. So they keep getting reelected into these positions. The reason is they have enough money backing them, and people just kind of not paying attention and just, picking, voting blue no matter who, or red no matter what, that kind of thing. We need to call this out more as progressive left. We need to call these things out more, and I'll go deeper into in depth how we do that. How do we do that? Simple. We got to stop caring. Do not give a damn anymore about how you're offending somebody or any of that kind of stuff as far as getting your point across. And what do I mean by that? So progressive media, we need to treat off elections like they're just as important as presidential elections and cover local politics in your area. I think this is one thing I've noticed in my area, at least. I know, being a young black man, local politics matters, man. Who you have as county attorney, district attorney, these are the people that when you go in front of that judge, these are the people that make those decisions. Even appointing judges, you know what I mean? These are the people that make those decisions, man. We need to focus more on that. And I understand it's a hard thing to do. I understand you might not get as much watch time as a Trump video, but this is what it takes for you to be better than legacy media. Legacy media already deals in the horse race of the presidential election, and they're manufacturing consent for these wars. They're manufacturing consent for these, for Joe Biden even, right? You know what I'm saying? Knowing that he is out of every, like, I would vote for a stick of butter before I vote for Joe Biden. You know what I mean? And still, you know what I mean? Like there's people still trying to get him into a position of power, which is insane, man. We definitely can do better than that. What got me into local politics is hearing about them from sources I trust. People like Niko House, Pasta Fiorella from the MCSC. Shout out to the homies, right? The Real News Network, Abby Martin, Lee Camp. These are all people that, that focused on these things and what made it pertinent in my mind to pay attention to these things. Local politics can make a change in your life and change in people's lives way quicker than the federal politics, if that makes sense. So I think we definitely need to pay more attention to that, and that takes us, man. If we claim to be better than legacy media, and in order for us to be better than legacy media, it takes putting in that work, man. Like, I think every progressive channel on YouTube and otherwise needs to definitely focus more on their area's local politics, even if somebody doesn't live in your area. Like I watch for another example, I watch Rational National, and he'll talk about what's going on locally in Canada, and I click on those videos just as much as I click on other ones because it's all interesting. You know what I mean? It's all like, what you all forget is we don't have to chase the same stories as the mainstream networks chase. I'm not saying we shouldn't care about Trump and the horse race at all. What I am saying is we should pinpoint a specific state like California, you know what I'm saying? And like really dig deep into the background politics. Why I say that is we're missing something. We're missing wins on the left, on the progressive left. What do I mean by that? All of our ideas are just that, ideas, at least here in America. I understand that they're implemented in other places or they're dotted around around the world, and these policies are working, but nobody here has seen these policies work here, these progressive policies that we're touting, right? I think we need to take with laser focus on one state and really get everybody who's not for us out of there. You know what I mean? And I think personally we should focus on a state like California because it's supposed to be the progressive bastion anyway of hope. And there's a lot of political media and just TYT station out there. I think it's unfathomable. It's amazing that that we haven't made the changes, the important changes to our party, at least the Democratic Party, our party. Why are there still people like Nancy Pelosi in office? People like that who don't hold our views and are not as progressive as us. You know what I mean? Like there should be. Definitely don't have enough representation. And I think that the product of that is we are. Like I said, TYT. I try not to bash them too much, man, but they're focusing on the horse race. It's all they really do. Like it seems like they only make videos for clicks, which I get. I understand you need people to click on your video. Well, you're not doing anything if nobody's watching your videos. I get it, but what's more important than that is actual results. You know what I'm saying? And talking about Trump's Twitter account is not gonna get me to get out there and vote. Period. You know what I mean? Or nobody I know. Nobody's gonna be like, man, we gotta get Trump out of office, man. He's talking crazy on Twitter. Nah, nobody. No, real people don't care about that. Don't care too. I don't even be on Twitter. Like, only reason I got on Twitter is to try and get into that's where local politics is going. I mean, not local. That's where politics is happening right now. That's the site that we have decided to make the political conversation to go, which makes sense because it's just you only have 140 characters. You just have enough space to write some quippy one-liner, and just like if you were sitting in a debate, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of the perfect platform to people to pretend that they're more clever, quick-witted, and smarter than they really are. That's why I think it works so well for politics. But I also think that's something else we need to do. And get off we need to move politics from Twitter is another thing we need to do because we're not winning that war. You know what I'm saying? Like real policy decisions and these the things we discuss go a lot deeper than 140 characters, man. We need to move the conversation away from Twitter. That's a whole nother story right there, right? Like I said, we need to pinpoint a specific state like California because, in my opinion, it's like starting a fire, right? That's how I liken it to. When you're trying to start a fire, you got to gather all the fuel you can and start a fire in one spot and let that fire grow, right? Even like wildfire, any fire, it takes you need a catalyst, right? A spot where it really catches fire and the flame to grow out, right? When it comes to elected politics, instead of really concentrating on one spot and get a fire actually going, and then taking that momentum from that fire and helping it blaze throughout the country. Instead, what we're doing is we're trying to start small fires everywhere, small fires everywhere, and they're all getting put out by the establishment, right? Because it's, they're small fires, they're easy to put out real quick. But if we concentrate on one spot and get a good freaking, get a good blaze going, then it'll be a lot harder to stifle that, you know what I'm saying? And then people will be able to see the fruits of our labor. We have something we can point to as progressive and say, look at this state, look at what we're doing here, look at what we're getting people here, look at what's happening here. We don't have that yet. We don't have anywhere we can point to and prove that we are doing a great job, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's not necessarily true. In other places we can, in small areas like maybe, some stuff in Vermont and this, that, and the other, but, that's nothing nobody can see. You know what I mean? We need something that we can point to. That's the problem right now, man. The other side, when I say the other side, I mean Republicans and mainstream Democrats, establishment Democrats. We need to beat them down, man. And the only way is to really have something to point to and prove that, hey, we're doing a great job here. We need to get everybody that's not for the agenda out of there. And the reason why I say start with California is it's already supposed to be that progressive bastion, and it's something people point to as, hey, see, these policies don't work. Look what's happening there. Look at all their homeless. Look at this. Look at that. And can you blame them? I kind of agree. It's like, yeah, man, it's a little. You can't really point to California. Yeah, there's some good things going on too, but what most people see is the homeless, the issues. You know what I mean? So there's that. We also need to be repetitive. And again, I'm speaking to, this is, out to Dave, the people who call themselves progressive on YouTube, because this is a group effort, man. Like, I think we will not be able to make these changes unless we all come together with a common goal, just like they did to us, when it comes to, they made sure everybody dropped out the race, and endorsed Biden, and Biden got picked up on all these states and stuff, you know what I mean? Because they decided to, fall in line and be like, all right, we're going to defeat these people by doing this, And that's the problem, man. We have no momentum as far as that goes, man. Our momentum is nowhere near, like, they're already entrenched in. We gotta start a real blaze, get a real fire going in the people. We need that momentum, you know what I'm saying, to really get this movement off the ground for real, right? The reason why we need to point to we need something to point to what we're doing right now, right? Also, don't get in the way of those who are willing to get dirty. And what I mean by that is, if you look at the Republican side, they don't shun their base. And even those people who those people like Alex Jones, who are obviously, like, not good, they don't belittle or berate him. You know what I mean? They focus on, with laser precision, the left. And I think that's genius. I think that's what we need to do, but we need to do that to our side, because what y'all don't understand is Republicans are going to be Republicans, man. We have an internal battle we need to win before we can even start to look over there, right? And that's the problem right now, man. We need laser precision on establishment Democrats. We need to have laser focus on making sure that they are in line with us. That should be everybody's goal. I don't know who y'all are talking to when you talk about Trump, but it's a circle jerk if I've ever seen one. Nobody that watches your show, David Pakman, is voting for Trump, bro. Maybe 3 people. Let's just be real here, right? Nobody watches your show, TYT, is voting for Trump unless they're hate watching, right? You know what I'm saying? People who actually support TYT are not voting for Trump. And you probably be like, well, there's a few. Let's just, I'm moving those margins out the way right now. For the most people who watch your show are not going to vote for Trump. So who are you trying to convince to not vote for Trump? It makes no sense to me. We need to focus on the things we can change, and that's within our party. You know what I'm saying? How are we going to try and talk about their house and our house isn't together yet? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how people look at us. Now, I mean, and I'm speaking from experience as far as a young black man. There's probably people listening to me right now, looking at me and like, you better have all your stuff together or we're not listening. For another example, I got homies that live in Houston that still sell crack, like crack cocaine. It is 2020. Who the hell is still smoking crack? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't, where you find them at? I still got homies out there doing that. I'm sure you would tell them there's no excuse, right? There's no excuse. You need to go out, get 3 jobs if you need to. Stop doing that. You have to stop doing that. That's why there's no excuse for Elizabeth Warren. There's no excuse for Nancy Pelosi. There's no excuse for any of this moderate shit. Because when it comes to my people, and I'm saying the things we need to do, we ain't no excuses. Ain't no, okay, you can sell a little crack and just get another job and just we'll slowly transition you from the street life. No, you're like, immediately get out of that. You need to, if you got to get into programs, anything, you need to get out immediately, and you have to put that down forever, and you can never go back to it. So what I'm saying is they expect more from me. We expect more from me than we do from people who are making the decisions that affect our lives, man. We need to really, really think about that. I need y'all to really think about that. And like I said, this is more so for progressive, our progressive pundits, you know what I'm saying, than even regular people. I got a message for all the viewers and followers in a second here too, but this is more so to get to them. And if y'all could, get this message to them, it don't have to be my video, or you don't have to share this video per se. You can take these words or this message and get and just send it to them yourself, in your own words. What matters is the result to me. I don't care about, I don't necessarily care about recognition as much as the result, if that makes sense. What I love for people to take me serious, that would be great. As a young black man, I doubt that's going to happen anytime soon though. So we'll pause on that, right? Keep going. To any moderates watching and thinking I need to calm down, I'm going to some personal life stuff right now, man. So real quick, I was born in Ohio, moved out to Houston, Texas when I was 4, so I know nothing about Akron, Ohio at all, where I was born. And ever since I've been here, my life has been hell, man. Since I dropped from the womb, you know what I mean? My mom died when I was 17. I got shot literally less than a year later. 3 days before I was supposed to discharge for the Navy, so I didn't go there. I immediately relapsed into negative street behavior. That's what they call it when you go to when you get some cognitive behavioral therapy, right? And I got locked up for 2 years. Well, and it wasn't like the judge banged the gavel said you're getting 2 years jail. No, prison. No, I sat in jail fighting my case for 2 years because I couldn't afford bail. And I got probation after that stint. If I had been able to afford bail out, I would have been able to get out of jail. And in that 2 year period where my life was stuck on pause, I would have been able to actually make changes in my life or show. The next time I'd been able to go to the judge, I would have showed them, hey, I've been trying to make these changes here. You know what I mean? And can you please, give me a second chance at life, if that makes sense. And I would have probably got a probation sentence, a lesser top probation sentence, way quicker if I just based on the fact that I could afford to get out, but I couldn't. So I sat behind that concrete wall, and I was just, another number in the system. And that's how the judge looked at me. These are real. This is my real life, man. Life has been hell for me, man. I'm still dirt poor right now, man. I like to present myself how I am, I like to present myself how I come every day. Cause when you see me in the street, I don't want to have to wear a suit for you not to be, for you not to think I'm stupid, or for you to take me serious. I want you to take me serious exactly how I'm dressed right now, man. Cause what I'm wearing has no bearing on what I'm saying. Get what I'm saying? So that's to everybody moderate thinking. Like I said, you need to calm down, man. If you're thinking I'm wilding on things I'm saying, you need to calm down, right? We've lost the propaganda war. And that's what we're doing here. That's what I'm doing with y'all right now, propagandizing. And, I know propaganda has a negative connotation, but it's exactly what everybody's doing. You're trying to convince people to your views. That's all it is, really. You know what I'm saying? It can be used for negative or positive, right? We're losing, and we will lose every time because we don't have those resources that they have. You know what I mean? We need a year-round get out the vote effort all year. Every election that's coming up, we need to be sounding alarm bells, man. Especially in your neck of the woods. If you have a comptroller coming up, city council, and you're progressive, you need to be ringing the alarm bells for these elections just as much as the presidential election, because these, like I said again, these are the people, that will have these election integrity issues, and these are the people who. There's been a lot of election integrity issues in this go around. Period. And the issue is the people who are in charge are biased against Bernie Sanders and in favor of Joe Biden. So we really don't know if these elections have been fair. Again, Lee Camp, he did a video, a fantastic video you got to check out, where he talks about the issues with the with the with the black boxes and black box voting. And I'm sorry, Niko House also did some really important and pertinent issues on that. Yeah, this is really important, man. And we definitely need a year-round get out the vote effort if we really want to see some change. Last, I need you, the viewers, people who I'm talking to right now, you regular people like me, you know what I mean, who just, just trying to make a living. We need people like you to hold people like TYT accountable. We need people like you to hold David Pakman accountable. You know what I mean? And like I said, they're not necessarily my enemy, but they're not my ally either. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I say that, and I'm not trying to single out just them, because even Majority Report has some issues with this too. The issue is they're pseudo mainstream, meaning they take they follow a lot of mainstream talking points and videos, even though, like I said, people are gonna tune into you either way. When I see something I don't know about, it sounds interesting, I click on it. Like I said, Trump might get more views, but have you tried to, speak on the people don't know what the comptroller is. If you did a video about a comptroller, I'm watching it because I'm like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of stuff we need. We need that, and people, I promise you, people will watch, people will listen. It'll be fascinating to people. I'm sorry, it's like freaking cat hair. But yeah, that's what's important, man. We missed the mark on not calling out election fraud. Like I said, again, Niko House and Lee Camp have been on top of this since day one, man, since I first started watching them. And that's the kind of stuff, like I said, like I am living proof that focusing on these type of things can make a change. Because like literally seeing them, ring these alarm bells is what made me want to get more active and ring those same alarm bells that I don't see people like TYT, Majority Report, David Pakman. They're not speaking on these things, and these things are important. Again, the points I'm trying to make here are, like I said, to going forward, the left, man, what we need to do, focus on legacy media, legacy officials, and get them out of there. They do not need to be the standard bearer, especially for the left. You know what I mean? Like, they do not need to be a standard bearer. We should not be referencing them as much as we do. And the fact that we just focus on them the focus we have on them isn't conducive. You know what I mean? We need to be calling out, hey, do not watch. And what I mean by going after legacy media, some of the things I'm thinking is people don't realize that a lot of their views, they get a lot of their money from just restaurants keeping on those channels, or sports bars keeping on certain channels. That's just the channel they put it on. Hotels, they just have it on Fox News, CNBC, MSN, CNN, MSNBC, CNN. They just have it going on that. And we need to focus on not only their advertisers. We need to try and hit those companies and actually get them to stop showing them. What I would recommend, and this is just some workshop idea. I don't know if you ever heard of Chilled Cow. They do the music to study to, and it's like just a live stream of just constant dope lo-fi instrumentals, right? You can study or do whatever you want. I edit a lot of videos to the shout out Chilled Cow. You be killing it, bro. But I do a lot of video. I edit a lot of videos to their stuff. We can be able to do the same thing, aggregate, especially because we're talking all this, community, these social democratic socialism ideas. Well, here's one for you right now. You know what I'm saying? We need a single channel that we can have the people vote on specific video. Like we can kind of curate the videos a little bit. I'm just workshopping an idea we need one channel where we can, like, hey, something to rival that 24-hour news network where it's like, hey, stop showing CNN and here is this YouTube channel who have all these these important, like, we can show Lee Camp, Niko House, Abby Martin, we can, even TYT, David Pakman, all these things on, like, cause they drop videos every day, drop new videos, multiple videos a day. I'm sorry. Also, Jamal Thomas, the Progressive Soapbox is another one that's real dope. Really check them out if you haven't. Have these people on the loop, reporting the news just like CNN does, except it's more progressive. Like we just need to get laser precision and get and focus on these things. That's one, stopping legacy media to get legacy officials out. Like I said, again, it's the deep. I don't want to say deep state because it sounds like some Trumpian stuff, but it kind of, it's kind of real. What I mean by deep state is those people who were elected or not, maybe not even elected, but those people that are in those positions of power that you don't hear about every day, that they're back there pulling strings and levers that you don't think about. You know what I mean? Those city council members, all those kind of people, you know, those are the people who have been sitting in office for like 10 years and their terms are 2, you know what I mean? And they're not doing nothing for you. You know, those are the people we need to focus on. It needs to be a year-round effort. Every year, it needs to be like a countdown to 12 days of Christmas, 12 days of voting. You know what I'm saying? We need a countdown to these times. You know, like I said, you know, we have to get on the same page. We don't have to keep spouting the exact same things, but the broader structure of what we're fighting for is all the same. So there are certain things that we all can agree on. And if you disagree with what I'm saying, then you're like I said, you are 100% not on the progressive side. You're on the mainstream side, and you're one of the people that we need to get out of there, right? You know, that's how I look at it. Like I said, don't worry about that Trump stuff, man. We need to focus on local politics more so than Trump, because like I said again, people who are going to vote for Trump are going to vote for Trump. The people who are not going to vote for Trump are not going to vote for Trump. I think at this late state, I'd be shocked and chagrined if you could change anybody's mind about Trump. I'm pretty sure most people are set on Trump, period. You know what I mean? And I think we need to focus on the things that they don't hear all the time on mainstream media. You know what I mean? Like, what got me watching progressive media is the fact that y'all weren't focusing on the same things CNN was focusing on. I found it fascinating. Back in Obama's day, man, TYT used to destroy Obama, and I was loving it. I was here for it. Like I said, I sat in jail for 2 years of my life under his in his administration, and black man, he ain't do nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? He ain't legalized marijuana, which would have stopped a lot of the BS, like stop and frisk. Like, it would have been a lot of this context, a pretext to stopping black people. He didn't even want to get that out the way, right? So I was all for the Obama hate, but right now, you know what I'm saying, like, all with the we're just focusing on Trump instead of going back to focusing on those enemies on our side. You know what I mean? That's what got me into progressive media. You know what I mean? So, well, I'm saying again, I'm reiterating. I know this is getting long. It's just as important, man. I say we can't chase the same stories the mainstream media chase. You know, like I said, we need to focus on more local stories, or just, you know, even broader context. What we should do is pinpoint a specific state like California with laser precision and really try and get every single elected official who is not for our agenda out of there. Are we going to do that? Maybe, maybe not. But we should try, and I mean in a concerted effort. Everybody on YouTube, you know, every progressive that's, you know, like I see y'all on Twitter, y'all all friends, or pretend to be. You know, you be retweeting each other. You talk. I see, you know, there's a billion interviews of, you know, Rational National going on to Anna Kasparian and vice versa, and, you know, you get what I'm saying? Like, there's, and I cut for Rational National. Shout out Dave. You know, you the man, right? And even Humanist Report, right? All of these people, and the Humanist Report's one of the Rational National and Humanist Report, or again, some other people that I really recommend y'all checking out. They're really good progressive media, and not so much in the mainstream media camp as like TYT and David Pakman, in my opinion. But I think they're salvageable. I think TYT and David Pakman still have they're still value in them, and they could come back to the light, if that makes sense, you know. But we have to have laser precision on these things, man. And all I'm saying is I've been looking at people's, you know, what we should do going forward, and it doesn't seem broad enough to me. It doesn't seem like I said, we're trying to start fires. We're trying to start small fires all across the country, and they're blanket putting them out easily. We need to get a big flame going in one spot so people can see. So people can look up and see, wow, look at that bastion of light over. Look at that flame burning so bright over there. And I say California. And I'm in Texas, so I promise I would rather it be here. But, you know, I think the most realistic place, because it's supposed to be the progressive bastion anyway, is California. You know, we need a state to point to that prove here are our policies and they are working. You know what I mean? And even if we try to get certain policies passed with Pelosi in office and just that, there's too many people who are not on our side to get these progressive policies passed. That's why there's so many homeless people in LA. You know what I mean? Like, that's why they're not taxing the hell out of the, you know, multiple billionaires and millionaires that live there. You know, it should be happening, man, but it's not. And I guarantee, and people tonight think, oh, they'll leave. No, they're not going to leave. LA is gonna be LA no matter what. People want to be there. There are even like, what's that guy? The Red Elephant. He's this right wing, insane guy. He's even in LA right now talking mess about how terrible it is, and he has enough money to move. He can, he gets a couple 100,000 views. I've watched his live stream because you definitely got to watch Know Thy Enemy. Let's put it like that, right? But I mean, people give him mad money. He could easily, hey, go do a GoFundMe, Indiegogo, whatever you want to call it, and be like, hey, I want to relocate to somewhere where my people at. But nah, he chooses to stay in LA. Why do you think that is? Dave Rubin chooses to stay in LA. Why do you think that is? He could have left a long time ago. They haven't. Joe Rogan's over in LA. You know what I'm saying? LA is California is the spot we can take over, man. You know what I'm saying? And really get these progressive ideas going. I'm gonna leave it there. I've been going for a good 30 minutes now, but I definitely really almost beg you to, if not share this video, and if any of this resonates with you, take that idea yourself and post it all over social media, Twitter, freaking hound every other progressive network about this, because this is important, man. This isn't about, I watched my mom die pouring in pain. I watched her die February 19th, 2008 at 4:47 a.m. I watched it happen. It didn't look fun. I don't know what to tell y'all, man. It didn't look, I watched her die, so I have no illusions. There's no illusion in my mind that can happen to me. You know what I'm saying? So if you're quote unquote my ally, I'm asking for your help. You know what I mean? We need your help, and I'm just going to leave it at that, man. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, which, like I said, I rarely ask in my videos because I think it sounds crazy, but I really am asking you to share this video or make your own video, go viral yourself. If you have you have a bigger following and this resonates with you, anybody progressive watch this video, any of my, YouTube cohorts that, have a good size following and this resonate with you, make your own video. You don't have to, I swear on, I am not tripping on getting no credit on this as long as there are results.
Out of justice system that had 500 people whose cases were overturned by DNA evidence. How come they didn't found Big and Tupac's murder, but they arrest OJ the next day? Nicole Simpson can't rap. I want to jump.